Hi there, and welcome to Apple World. Diddy has numerous other celebs running cover for him, attempting to maintain the entire oddity off mystery under wraps. Supposedly a ton of renowned and high-profile individuals we realize who were a piece of the music portable's wrongdoings, and after the new name dropping we get to find out about the lawbreaker ring of the diversion world. As of not long ago, most Diddies have been keeping genuine calm, scarcely saying a word since Diddy's legitimate issues hit the news and people. It's very legitimate. See, MS is known for his impact, and Palms is known for his impact and power, and that is the reason so hardly any in Hollywood revolted against him presently on account of in no way other than Snoop Dogg. Every one of the wild felines is out of the pack, and the tempest is coming to Tinseltown that will wash away every one of the filthy figures. It wasn't the best spot to be, so we had a ton of tidying up to do. Now you might be asking why Snoop Dogg is getting involved by any means? Well, as indicated by all the murmurs, he was one of those high-profile names who used to be at Diddy's notorious gatherings once upon a time. These slams are currently under the examination of the government specialists, and it seems as though Snoop Dogg is the one to have slipped a couple of upsetting subtleties, naming the people who helped Diddy in his crook exercises he's presently blamed for, as the indictment states Coles didn't do this. Completely on his own, he utilized his business and representatives of that business and other CT partners to get everything he could possibly want, and Snoop Dogg knew not to fall under the impact of similar way of life of all time since his significant other Shanti turned into his administrator in 2021. He's been staying away from Diddy. Word is after she stepped in, things between the two rappers cooled off. Now it seems as though Snoop Dogg may be preparing to drop some serious tea about who are behind sorting out these parties, laid out specialists, new craftsman makers that I love with fresh insight about music, versatile shade Diddy Combs being captured in New York City, came new disclosures with respect to supposed criminal operations. The charges incorporate racketeering, intrigue, private dealing, forcibly misrepresentation, intimidation, and transportation to take part in private activities. This became obvious when the specialists tracked down implicating accounts during the attack. Communications were argued not liable to all charges. However, everybody's tense in Hollywood. Consider it. We've all seen clasps of those huge names at Diddy parties throughout the long term. The lists of people to attend were stacked with the listers, Jay-Z and his significant other, Beyoncé. Kim Kardashian Jr. is also, essentially, everybody you see on television are fabulous nowadays, and it might simply work out that a ton of them were engaged with the after PR slams when the most evil part was beginning. This office is not set in stone to explore and arraign regardless of how influential, strong, affluent, or then again renowned you might be. Clearly, since the strikes that occurred in WAC 2024, the Federal Reserve has sufficient opportunity to concentrate on record proof from those oddity offs, and they know precisely who was there. And if Snoop Dogg begins dropping names, this entire thing could detonate and turn the entire show business topsy-turvy. Individuals are hypothesizing hard that he could cover other people who were tight with Diddy and found out the latest his business, and we should not fail to remember Lil Bar's claim previously dropped a few names. He tossed some shade at people evidently associated with Diddy, and presently, with all these updates coming in, individuals are going back to check who was truly in the blend. One name referenced was Diddy's most late sweetheart, youthful Miami, and you realize she was moving with Diddy in all that he was doing. As she expressed in one meeting, he moved toward me with a parcel of business thoughts. You ought to do this. I see this in you, so it was a greater amount of that for me. He saw more in me than music. Now, youthful Miami's been maneuvered into the entirety play with claims that she helped move substances for Diddy's casualties. You know, however, as time continued, and you realize I had to manage the truth. Thus, obviously, youthful Miami was stirred up in something obscure, moving a substance known as pink for Diddy back in April. She was losing her opportunities to Snoop Dogg high in this business and turned into the piece of Diddy's team since they began dating so youthful. Miami was named as a vendor in Lil Pol's promotion of his claim against Diddy. In this record, the maker expressed how he had seen the City Young Lady vocalist bringing her man-specific substances when his typical vendor, a person named Brendan Paul, got captured. So when Brendan couldn't come through any longer, the story goes that Diddy fired up youthful Miami to take care of business in return for a few professional successes, and afterward, with him, it was like he had the option to, take my vocation to the powerful I did for me. Nerve. No big surprise, she was prepared to ride with Diddy until the end in expansion to hoisting her status and remaining in the business. The music portable has supposedly given youthful Miami a liberal stipend, something she, of course, chose to deny. Yet it seems to be she was another empowering agent and provider of all that Diddy needed to keep his wiped-out parties going, and there will be more names to be dropped. Yet people in general can hardly hang tight for this multitude of crooks taking cover behind the excitement to be uncovered. As one individual remarked, "Let the squealing continue," tossing individuals on the transpo. Art, and one more client added next in the arrangement. Jay-Z, Beyonce, Jennifer Lopez, yet it doesn't end there. God help us, the person who's bioing Diddy. Ry Jones says he was chipping away at Diddy's most recent collection between September and November 2022, and as indicated by him, things got genuine awkward when the terrible kid search engine optimization needed to transform Rodney into his little toy kid. Here and there, Diddy would demand specific attempts to be finished. What's more, tell us don't fall asleep until it's done. And he was blaming Diddy for making undesirable advances, like grabbing him and attempting to pressure him into get things done he would have rather not done. By him, Diddy took unseemly actions on him on numerous occasions and made the whole experience of working with the music titan an all-out bad dream. He's a beast. He'll do whatever is important to get precisely what he needs. He doesn't take no for a response. He lets me know himself. I'll smack my mother. We knew briefly that Diddy was a piece. Savage, however, with each new case's allegations, it's like we haven't even seen his most obscure side. Savage, I'm a savage. Gracious, I'm a savage. Anything I desire to Diddy's public picture as a family man and a father has long evolved tremendous breaks also. These accounts of him compelling ladies and even children to accomplish something against their will for his own pleasure are illustrating what's been happening away from public scrutiny yet. Hold up in light of the fact that it gets much more upsetting as you become familiar with the names of the people who have been assisting him with running this business, and the stuff they all have been doing is simply taste. Puma Wright has been around here spilling some serious tea on Diddy for some time, even guaranteeing that a portion of the cozy recordings with people like Justin Bieber and Drake were sold on the dim web. I mean, it kind of makes sense of the entire wreck poor Justin Bieber has rather than an ordinary life individual around me. Only sort of holding tight, needing stuff from me knowing that, as the examination extends this entirety, Diddy's circumstance simply continues to get more insane. Like it's one thing to get gotten up to speed in a compromising position, yet selling the recording you have on your own Craftsman. He didn't actually stop until he was gotten evidently selling those recordings was some sort of showing the celebs who's the daddy in the business. What's more, no big surprise. The appointed authority doesn't need Diddy to be out of prison since the music portable was captured. It's like the industry was at last ready to inhale out at those private gatherings and other restrictive occasions. Individuals say he never keeps down following up on whatever dreams he is happening as per court records. Investigators charge they have gotten data from many casualties and witnesses, and it's like everybody presently needs to squeal on Diddy. TMZ is revealing that no less than 2 new individuals intend to help out the federal authorities. What's more, they're willing to affirm in front of the stupendous jury, as indicated by the arraignment. Other celebs, Diddy's security, family staff, individual partners, and different partners participated in the asserted violations and aided in stowing away the crime by utilizing payoffs and dangers. Yet the primary inquiry is, were they doing it on their own will, or was Diddy controlling them as well? As examiners say, casualties trusted they couldn't decline ECOM's requests without gambling their monetary or employer stability, or, on the other hand, without repercussions as physical or close to home. E-abuse abundance is one of the devices used to keep affirmed criminal operations hush yet, impact power, and the public picture of the individual likewise assumed apart. Clearly Diddy was running a tremendous realm of terrorizing, and every individual who may be involved can profess to be one more casualty of Diddy's insane activities. What level of frenzy are you hearing from this multitude of individuals we realize who related with him throughout the long term, yet on the off chance? Subscribe Apple World for more videos.